about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Around Bay YouTube, it is Charles, and today we're going to talk about Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger number 6. This has been the most emotionally poignant issue of this series yet. We get to find out more about Gunslinger Spawn and his time as a youth, and mainly this whole series is around his time before he embodied Javier in the present. So this is before he teamed up with Spawn and the Scorch. This takes place back in the 1800s, and to his time as a child named Tobias. And we get hints of his childhood and his upbringing, but we don't really get the full story. A common thread throughout the current run is him trying to get revenge for his sister. For what? It's never stated. Was she murdered, kidnapped? What's going on? In the current series, he is, forward in time over 100 years, so it's safe to presume that she's dead, unless she is a supernatural being as he is now. And so that's really open-ended, and they continue that narrative here, where something has happened to his family, but they don't tell you what. And it starts off with this beautiful, beautiful scene of him going through the desert, and you really feel the dry air and the desolation. And it starts with the wind shifts abruptly, cold and sharp, carrying with it the damp, earthy aroma of the impending rain. And the desert silence deepens as the storm draws near. Then we have the title of this, What the Soul Desires. Raindrops patter against the dry earth, a sparse but steady rhythm. The valley's quiet is soon filled with the rumbling advance of a resounding echo that grows louder with each moment. Every sharpened sense alerts to him the storm's swift approach in the vast open desert. Finding shelter becomes critical as the sky prepares to unleash its fury. And so that first page really lays out the context of what he is experiencing in the environment. And in this desolation, he is beset upon by a female Comanche warrior. And at first, knowing Native American culture and history myself, I was kind of thrown off. Is this kind of a gross misrepresentation of Native Americans just to advance a narrative? Is there a deeper plot? And I'm very familiar with the author of this book, so I figured it wasn't going to be a generic stereotype of a Native American just attacking for no reason. This issue is written by Jimmy Palmiotti, and he is one of my favorite writers. I got familiar with his work through the Painkiller Jane series, and he is very good at writing visceral, violent action pieces. And we get a lot of that here. It is very much Jimmy Palmiotti book. And I think that it's a cool, collaboration between two of my favorite creators and authors, that being Todd McFarlane, who still has his hands on the whole universe of Spawn, and he will actually write specific issues himself still. So it's kind of a mashup of Jimmy Palmiotti delving into the world of Todd McFarlane. I'm not going to give away too many plot points because there is a lot of story here that I want you to be able to experience if and when you can get your hand on this book. And this is a definite, if I had to give this a rating of maybe give it a pass or definitely pick it up, this is to definitely pick this book up. If you like westerns, revenge stories, great subtext, and with the way this book is set up, you don't have to read the previous 5 issues to get the whole story. This is the beginning of a new arc, and so you can hop on this without feeling left out And it does a lot of world building in this short book. I mean, I don't know. It felt short to me because it was a fast read, but really in a good way. You cover, the current conflict, and then we shoot back to his childhood. And we see that he is in a military encampment. And the camp leader insinuates, his sympathy for what happened to Tobias' family. So again, we have threads of something happening to his family. What, who, where, why, how, we don't know. But we get another breadcrumb into that life. And, as a child in this regiment, he is thrust into battle and into a decision that very day that we meet him as a youngster in this military encampment that led up to this very moment right here of this Comanche warrior woman staring down the barrel of a gun pointed at his head. And you find out that though he has since changed, her wrath is well earned. That's all I'm going to give you on this book because I really, really would love for you to experience it yourself. A great book. To me, this issue gets a 10 out of 10. It checks a lot of my favorite boxes. We get violence. We get superhero action. We get a deep story that, pays off the reader for paying attention to details. And it's a great looking book by one of my favorite authors in a universe created by another of my favorite authors. So I'll see you guys next time. If you don't have a local comic book store to get this set, I suggest if you're in Wyoming, check out my friends at Spellbound, Apothecary, and Entertainment in the Eastridge Mall. They're between Best Buy and Target. And if you order from them within the state of Wyoming, they will ship it for free if it's over $35. That is a great deal. And if you're a regular reader, that $35 threshold for free shipping isn't hard at all. And if you're not in Wyoming, I always suggest my friends over at Coffee and a Comic. Not only do they give you fresh ground coffee with each order, but they have an easy-to-use website with the best shipping and comic book prices that you're going to see. So I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.